we know them so well right now, but then you get to go back into their lives before you met them, and it's just fascinating then to see the hatching of these experiences that lead them ultimately through everything you've already witnessed. And I will say I have a somewhat very innocent yet deeply creepy scene with Cal. You'll all know it when you see it. Oh, yeah.
That's right. What were your guys? My question is for the Cylons thing. Yeah. When you guys got outed as Cylons, do you think they erased you off the dry erase board? And would that hurt your feelings?
You bet they were nice. I lost track.
Yeah. Great question.
This side. Great. Hi there. So say we all, totally. This is a question I got for, especially the song, for everyone at the same time. How was it for you when you learned, when you first got that script and said, you're a silent? And for the rest of you, leading up to that, were you all taking bets, wondering backstage, who's going to be the next time?
Yes, everybody was backstage, so to speak, wondering and taking bets of who would be the final five. I get asked this question so often that I feel kind of odd answering it because I feel like I did told you this already. So I'll make it. What happened was I got 0 hour. I was getting teased by Edward James Olmos on set saying, "Ooh, hearing the music, hearing the music." And I had no idea what he was talking about because I hadn't read the script. Like Eddie and Mary would be the first ones to read scripts of the cast, obviously. So Eddie, I really didn't know what he was talking about because I hadn't read the script. And then someone else said something, and then Reimer was on set when Eddie was talking about it. And at one point I said, Eddie, stop it, man. Like, let's move on. This whole teasing about the side, let's get to work. Like, it's wasted, stupid, man. And then Reimer said, Hogan, has Ron Moore phoned you? And I said, Reimer, no, you're in on it. Would you guys crack on, man? And he said, no, Hogan, we should talk. Ron Moore flew up to Canada and said, yes, we've decided you'll be one of the final five. And I said, that's bullshit. I mean, if there's someone that told me, I don't go on the net, but someone told me there's been a poll of all of the actors that have ever been on Battlestar Galactica, day players right to guest stars. And of the possibility of them being a Cylon, and Saul Tigh was the second to last. And so I thought this was just a surprise factor, that Ron and David had finally lost it. That they just did it for that reason. It was shallow. But I had argued vehemently against Saul Tigh going down to the planet at the end of season 2. Because he is a career soldier. Like I've told this a few times, so I feel now like I'm wasting your time. But he's a career soldier and would not leave the ship. And I've done a lot of research on that, so I was well informed of the fact that I'm a career soldier and I would stay. And Ron was impressed with my knowledge and my arguing against it, but insisted that I go down. And look at what they wrote for Saul Tigh down on the planet. I am so proud of season 3. And what we got to play with on season 3. So when they say that they're making Saul Tigh a Cylon, I had to say, all right, I've argued my case, let's go. And in the long run, it is a brilliant idea to make Saul Tigh a Cylon. I am honored that they would make my character one of the final 5. And I'm honored honored that I would be the actor that would get to portray it. So that, in a nutshell, is my side of the story.
Alessandro, it's obvious from the pilot that you're enamored with Baltar, and then later on you become his aide. Do you think he had a man crush, or do you think he could have gone further and had things develop differently?
It's a fine line, isn't it? In the pilot, I always initially intended it to be more hero worship than full-on fantasizing, and it certainly evolved. I mean, when I became the Smithers to his Burns. What happens in DiCaprio stage? No, I think James Callis and that character, he was such a voracious, an omnivore of sensuality, and his appetite for everything was so huge. Who knows what happened behind the scene in that, in that airplane? I'm sure there were some rocking parties, let's just put it that way.
Good kid. Hi guys, thanks for being here. I just practically love you all. But I was wondering, this is for everyone, if you could meet your character in real life and like hang out for a day, like get a drunk, whatever you want to do. What do you think would happen? And is there anything you would want to happen? Anything you would want to tell your character? And what would you want to do with your character? Basically, it's kind of weird, but.
I'd like to take her shopping.
That's obviously not an easy question.
I needed a new suit.
I'll take Zara shopping.
With this many people, that's a very difficult question because that's not a simple one-word, two-sentence answer. So you'd be hogging 10 minutes of time.
And it's hard too because our characters change so much over the course of the 4 years. I would tell early Felix to lighten up a bit, but later on, I don't know what I'd tell him. I would walk the other way.
I think this is interesting that we're not answering this. And here she goes. Kate, did you want to answer?
I'm working on it. No, I think with Ellen, I'm not like Ellen. I don't walk into a room and want people to look at me. I'm not like that. I'm not this big, loud, I'm not like her. And so I admire that part of her, but then and if I were to meet her, I'd be a little nervous. I'd want to know she was a friend to women. And I don't really know if Ellen is a friend to women, because I think ultimately she's insecure. But on that note, I don't know if I want to party with Ellen. I probably wouldn't want to party with Ellen. I might want to take Ellen to a yoga class. I might just want to bring her down a little bit, mellow her out a little bit, go to a spa. Try that sort of thing, keep the booze away, keep the guys away, see what happens. Take all that stuff